Welcome back to the Expansion Pack podcast. We got our second bonus episode centered all around Call of Duty. As always, I'm your host, Danzel, aka Black Ice 8. Joined by my co-host here, got Manny, aka Goop, Master Flex. What's up, bro?
What's up? We just staying gooping, you know what I'm saying?
All right, we staying gooping as always. We got Chris, aka May 25th. What's going on, my guy?
Like I always say, same shit, different toilet. I'm excited for episode number 2 of our bonuses.
Yes,
Good
sir.
to see y'all.
Yes,
Good to
sir.
see y'all.
And we have a special guest for our bonus episode this time around. We got my guy Orlando, aka OMACSAUCE. What's up, bro?
What's going on, world?
Yeah.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here with these three awesome gentlemen.
Yeah.
Talk some COD.
Let's talk a little bit of COD. But, first off, though,
Podcast.
let the people know about you, man. Like, these guys all know us by now, so introduce yourself a little bit. What's up?
Yeah, so these guys, a little bit about me. So my name is Orlando, aka OMACSAUCE. You can check me out at omacsauce.com. I have a couple of articles there, some stuff that I wrote, just kind of around the gaming and tech world, from customizing your gaming desk to Call of Duty games to new consoles, things like that. But you can check me out omacsauce.com or twitch.tv/omacsauce. I also have a social media presence, official_omacsauce on Instagram, and Facebook Gaming OMACSauce. Yeah.
Hey.
And don't forget, when you go to McDonald's, ask for the OMAC sauce.
Captain.
Oh, God. Well, yeah,
35
man.
cents a pack.
We're
Unless
excited
you
to
get
have
nuggets.
OMACSAUCE with us. Even though we're cracking a little bit of jokes here and there. But yeah, he's probably the biggest Call of Duty fan I know. So it only made sense, if we're going to be having a bonus episode about Call of Duty, that we would have him up in here. So we're going to start off with our own little icebreaker this time around. Chris, I'm stealing your segment. I'm gonna ask the question this time.
But
I'm
wind it up, though.
No,
Wind
you
it
got to
up,
wind
though.
it up, though. I'm going to let you wind it up, and I'll ask the question. That's your thing, man. Can't take that away from you.
Let me share on my internet merch. Hold up.
We really got to get an animation.
We do.
Terrible.
We do.
Oh, man. All right. So, yeah. So, guys, we all just want to kind of figure out where, because all of us have played Call of Duty at some point or another. I think we all currently play Call of Duty. So we just want to get an understanding of where you guys first started out with Call of Duty. What was your first Call of Duty game? So we're going to let our guests go first. So, Omac, what's up?
My first Call of Duty game, I remember. So my first experience with Call of Duty was when the first Call of Duty came out in like 02 or 03, whatever year it came out in.
Okay.
And I didn't have a computer to play it because it came out on PC, even came out on Mac. And I was in 6th or 7th grade. My neighbor who lived across the street, I won't say his name, I don't want to blow up his spot, but he had a Windows PC. Obviously Windows PC. He had a Windows computer, and he actually was playing Call of Duty. So I came over because he was restringing my guitar. I didn't really play guitar back in the day. I thought I was cool, but anyways, he was restringing my guitar, and I saw him playing Call of Duty. I'm like, what is that? That's amazing. Like, my dad does not let me play video games like this, and I want to. So he's telling me all about Call of Duty, just like the campaign, and from there on I'm like, okay, I need shooters in my life. Like, can I hurry up and turn 16 years old so my dad can let me play these? But that's where it started for me. My very first, like, okay, I'm in Call of Duty now and I'm gonna just like play this every night, every day, was Modern Warfare. Like the first Modern Warfare, that was Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, my favorite. Like, that's where it all started for me.
I respect it.
Okay.
I respect it.
Chris, what about you, man? You got a complicated history.
Yeah, I was about to say my shit is not as shiny as OMACSAUCE's story.
It's a love and
but
hate.
yeah, but big hate at first. Big hate. My relationship with COD from way back. It's a big love-hate relationship, more hate than love. Strictly due to the fact that back then I didn't play a lot of FPSs. So Destiny again opened that door for me. And I just didn't enjoy them. They just weren't my thing. Like, I would play sometimes at my friends' houses, like when they would have like GoldenEye up or whatever. Like, that was kind of cool. But aside from that, like, I didn't touch none of these kind of games. And I'd go in COD lobbies when I was younger and just die on spawn. Never even get to shoot my gun. And I'm like, I thought everybody on the map is supposed to shoot at least one time. At least. No, not me. So, that left a really bad taste in my mouth for a while. So I literally did not touch these games again till, I want to say, Warzone. And Warzone comes around, I play with you guys. I actually find out I really kind of like it a little bit. It's fun, even though I'm still getting clapped. I've learned to relish in my clapping. But not the clapping that I do, but the clapping that is done to me involuntarily. You know what I'm saying? Super pause.
Let's get this man a pause.
I'm glad you did it for me before I was going to do it, because you know I'm good for a pause. You know what I'm saying? I've embraced it, and it got to the point with Warzone where I was like, all right, bet. So now that I know I like this game, how do I get better weapons? And Cass was like, yo, you got to go play multiplayer and shit. And I was like, oh, God, what? So I started playing multis. Lo and behold, it's like some Destiny stuff carried over or something. And I'm like, oh, boy, this is not that bad. And then I experienced the beauty that is shipment. And then I'm never gonna be able to go back after shipment. Experiencing shipment for the first time was two reactions. Game starts, and I go, bro, what the fuck? This is crazy. Like, I can't even move. By the end of the game, my reaction was, yo, that was non-stop spraying and jumping. Yo, shipment is lit, bro. And then like after that, it was it, man. I don't know. I kind of fell in love with the multiplayer too. Now I'm here. I don't really play Cold War too much, but Modern Warfare is lit. So
Yeah, man. Okay.
I remember my first time on shipment finding like the verticalness of it and like being able to get on the cargo stuff and actually like jumping on to other containers.
It took me 2 months to realize
Oh,
you could.
what?
Yeah,
That
man.
like changed the game
Game
for me.
changer
That
for sure.
changed the game.
I had no idea until somebody actually was camping up there once. He shot me like 4 times in a row, and I was like, "How you even get up there?" And I walked around and I noticed there was a barrel, and
And he was mad.
When it first happened, everyone thinks you're hacking.
Shit, actually, yeah, that's true. Because I remember that was my first thought too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Manny, what's your first experience with Call of Duty, man?
Me, my first ever Call of Duty I played was Call of Duty 3. I remember actually getting that like Black Friday a long time ago for the PlayStation 2. It was like something my brother suggested. So like, you know, that's how I first played it, but I wasn't like really into it until like the Modern Warfare 2 days when like that really became mainstream. Like, Modern Warfare 2 just had the best story. Like that's why I loved about Call of Duty so much was like the stories at first, and now like Call of Duty is more multiplayer based. So like, even though I do play a lot of multiplayer now, I still like some of the Call of Duty stories that they have, like the recent ones that they brought out, like Modern Warfare and Cold War were actually pretty decent. But yeah, that's how it pretty much started out in the Modern Warfare 2, the golden days.
Okay. The golden days. Yeah. My experience is actually going to mirror Manny's in a way. My very first experience with Call of Duty was actually Call of Duty 2. It was a launch title for the Xbox 360. And I remember just really enjoying the story. I didn't really dive too much into the multiplayer stuff at the time. I think I dabbled and, it was fun, whatever. But yeah, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the way it all kind of framed itself. But... the World War II aesthetic was just kind of like, all right, like I've played this enough. Like I played Medal of Honor and all these other games, so whatever. This is cool. Put it aside. Yada yada yada. Then Modern Warfare came out, bro. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare changed everything. I remember, like, it came out right around the time Halo came out. And I was like, yeah, Halo 3. We're all playing Halo 3, whatever. And then, like, Call of Duty just came in and just freaking snatched the crown from Halo at the time, man. Like, it was just such a revolutionary game in the way that they had the gameplay loop of, all right, you dive into multiplayer, you get these kills get you XP, your XP levels you up, and now you're unlocking different guns. Now you're unlocking attachments for all these guns.
They were setting themselves up.
Yeah. It was like, oh shit, like this is like an RPG in a shooter kind of thing. Like, oh shit, like this is amazing, and I was pretty good at it at the time too. So, that helped get you into a little bit more. But yeah, man, yeah, I would say that was really my, like, the thing that dove me headfirst into Call of Duty was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And then over time, I definitely kind of strayed off a little bit. And then, yeah, Modern Warfare, this most recent one in 2019, brought me right back along. And Warzone just kind of sunk its teeth into me. I still have some gripes with the game, to be completely honest. But yeah, I've definitely considered myself a Call of Duty fan again because of Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone. So yeah. Yeah. But thanks, guys, for indulging in that icebreaker there. So we kind of, I guess in a way, talking about where we all started it. Talked a lot about where the franchise itself started. We talked about the idea that Orlando mentioned he played or at least was aware of the original Call of Duty back when it was on PC, and we all know kind of the inception of it where. Infinity Ward was a studio that was Actually, they weren't Infinity Ward at the time, but when they were working on Medal of Honor, they kind of branched off, came over to Activision, created the Infinity Ward brand, and decided, okay, like since we had a falling out with EA and Medal of Honor, let's make our own thing. And so we all know that it started off as more of a World War II situation, and again, as I mentioned. Once we dove into the Call of Duty 4 world, the modern warfare side of things, that's really the Call of Duty that we all know and really love nowadays. And as I mentioned, like the gameplay loop, the way everything was set up with multiplayer, I just feel like it was so revolutionary. Orlando, as kind of our resident super fan for this episode, tell us a little bit about how things evolved over time with Call of Duty, like what you perceive.
Oh man, so specifically around Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, they saw a huge potential, like you said, of like leveling up, getting new weapons, and then just turning it almost into like an RPG. And I think being able to take like a World War II setting, going into a modern setting, and then realizing, okay, we can completely change like the time, right? And then in which the game takes place, and it'll still like keep moving up, and it'll still have traction. Like Black Ops, like we consistently every other year bounce between like 70s 80s to modern day. I mean, that is modern, but what we now know as modern day warfare, and they bring all of those elements of progression and different characters that we fall in love with, characters that we hate, and then skins and everything. Like they can throw it into any like any game, regardless of the war, regardless of like the time in which it takes place, and it'll always progress, and people will always not just spend the money, but they'll put more of themselves into it other than sit down, numb out, shoot people, and play. So they do a really good job of that, and just it's not just a game, it's everything that surrounds it, and the story that is built on it. Stories, many stories.
Yeah, you bring up the story side of things. Like that's actually something that like I actually kind of forgot about until you just mentioned it. A lot of people talk about Call of Duty and are really thinking about the multiplayer side of things, but there's a pretty deep history, or rich history, I should say, in the Call of Duty story, right? Like Modern Warfare changed the game as far as the multiplayer, but the story in Modern Warfare and the missions and the way they all played out, like those are some of the most memorable moments in gaming for me in particular. Like I remember like the all gillied up mission, like everybody talks about that. Like that's classic, you know? So yeah, I mean, Manny, I know you know about the all gillied up mission. I know you know about some of those missions.
Of course.
So what do you think about that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what Call of Duty is, like a bunch of these war stories, and like I really like how they just like come up with these like new ideas every year. Like starting with the trilogy, the original Modern Warfare trilogy, like how they're out here chasing this terrorist and doing all these things, and then you get attached to these characters, and you end up seeing what happens to these characters, and it's like they do a really good job with like just basically just giving you the story and making you want to be like more invested into it. And like, I know maybe I think like the Black Ops 3 area or like the Black Ops 4, like they canceled the campaign just to put the blackout mode, which was a little sad, but like I'm glad that they kind of came back to that with the last Modern Warfare in the Cold War, and how to even like change the campaign on the Cold War, where it's like the stuff you do, the choices you make actually impacts the game. So yeah, I mean, definitely revolutionary stuff. At the time too, for like COD 4, like you barely seen any like modern day combat war games with like these crazy stories, and now like you see them everywhere because like Call of Duty was like the first one to ever do it, and everybody loved it. Yeah. So definitely revolutionary.
Yeah, I think the other thing as far as what made it revolutionary in the story is just that I don't ever remember a game being as immersive, right? Like there's all these like crazy freaking things happening to you in first person, and I don't know, it's just like a really bombastic story. It was like everybody equated it to like if Michael Bay made a video game, right? Like there's all these crazy explosions, all this crazy shit happening.
Yeah,
definitely.
But it's all happening to you in real time, like you never break character, right? There's never a moment where it breaks off into third person from what I can recall. It's always from your perspective of the character that you're playing. I remember, was it the beginning of Modern Warfare, like of Call of Duty 4? You were playing in first person, and I feel like you were playing as like you were in the perspective of a terrorist or someone else
in the backseat of the car.
Yeah, and then he got like shot in the face or something.
Modern Warfare 2, or the first one? No, the first one.
I think it was the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in the car and they're driving you to the stadium. Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
I think it ended with you dying though, right? Like
yep.
That
essentially, you get shot in the face.
You get shot in the face. Yeah.
You're driving through like the little towns, and like people are like clearing the roads, and you have the two guys up front. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that type of stuff, games weren't really doing that back then,
Mm-hmm.
Like Halo definitely had a good story, and I think probably would be the closest thing that you can kind of talk to about like first person immersive experiences, but I don't really remember any other games doing it in that regard, right? Like a real gritty war story in first person, and like it's pretty much a blockbuster movie, right? And I think that a lot of that DNA is really what's kind of translated over to what we still love about Call of Duty now, right? Obviously now it's a lot more multiplayer focused, just because that's just kind of the way, things went as far as the industry as a whole. But yeah, I mean, that whole Modern Warfare trilogy, even the original Black Ops, all that stuff, the storylines in those games, which honestly wasn't even in my head when we started, having this discussion, but those can come off those in my mind are actually pretty iconic. Like those stories are pretty underrated. Things I don't think we talk about enough.
Think about like, go ahead, Manny.
No, you go.
Like think about how cinema, like how involved we get into cinema, like completely random, but the MCU, like we are excited when we see a new character on the screen, like, oh my gosh, that's this person from this comic, and they have this power, and they're using their power in front of us. Like, cinema has such a huge like hold on us, and not hold, but has such a impression on us. And Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, like being in the back seat, like it's a movie, right? And you're diving into it, and you have all of these storylines and all of these characters and characters from different backgrounds, characters from different countries. Like, so many people love these games, and not just Americans. Like, you have Captain Price, right,
British
from the
soldier,
UK,
yep.
and even from the latest Modern Warfare, Farah. She like, how many players you think can relate to a character like that couldn't relate before to a character in Call of Duty in a positive way? Like,
not many, yeah.
you know, like there's just so much that you can find something, hold on to it, and love Call of Duty for it. And it being sort of cinematic and having these characters. Like, imagine if a Call of Duty movie came out. Like, people say it every year all the time. When's a Call of Duty movie coming out? When's a Call of Duty movie coming out? Like, it would be too much to handle in one movie, but like it would just blow it up.
Yeah,
more than it's already blown up.
I think it would benefit Activision to not come out with a Call of Duty movie, because I think
hold on to that card.
Yeah, the way that it's all set up, I think, is so cinematic as it is. Like the thing that they really captured well, at least specifically with Infinity Ward. And I do give Treyarch their credit, but like I feel specifically with Infinity Ward, they captured the essence of, you know, like you said, what makes a movie captivating and the immersion of it and all that jazz. That I don't think that they should bother trying to make it a movie. It's just, it already is.
They can make
what it is.
I mean, they can make it a movie and then people just hate it.
Right.
But
There's more risk
I think
involved.
at some point Call of Duty should be on movies, should be in cinema or TV. I think in some way, it's at some capacity, it should make its way there.
I get you. Yeah, there are stories that can be told. I would, if they ever went into that, if they ever went down that road, I would prefer that they didn't touch where it already existed. You know, if you just use the franchise name and you tell another story in that universe, cool, sure.
Throw some familiar faces in there, but not as main roles.
Right.
It would feel like a Call of Duty Ghosts almost. That's what it would feel like.
Oh, don't say that. Ghosts is the worst game.
I love Ghosts.
Oh no!
I love Ghosts.
Well,
And let's not even go there. I don't hate Ghosts for the reason people hate Ghosts, and I also don't like it for the reason that people hate it. It's a story. Like, anyways, go ahead.
no, but like, no, I know what you mean though. I know what like you're trying to say too, Denzel, is like, you know, you don't want to touch what was already happened and like kind of like ruin what, you know, what was there for everybody. Like, and it would be dope too. Like you see like a cameo of like, oh, Captain Price or, you know,
cameos. Yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
And like, not even just like the, you know, the Modern Warfare and the Black Ops franchises, but you know, one of my favorite campaigns is actually the Advanced Warfare one. Like when they first like dove into that futuristic. You don't like that, Lando?
Nah, go ahead though. Go ahead.
I honestly thought like the Advanced Warfare like campaign was just one of those underrated campaigns, but that's just me in my opinion. I mean, you know, Orlando said he liked the Ghost, and you know, we looked at him weird too.
Yeah,
I don't think it drowned in the campaign. It drowned in the multiplayer, and what like they just didn't do well with it. Campaign was fine.
I weirdly liked Advanced Warfare, but I also understood the gripes around it. It was like everything else that they did after Advanced Warfare that just annoyed the crap out of me. Like Advanced Warfare was like right when I was like, all right, you guys got me. And then I don't even remember what they did after that because I just stopped paying attention to Call of Duty at that point. That was that period of time where they fell off for
after.
me.
Yeah, Black Ops 3, I feel like, you know, because Black Ops 2 was like the first futuristic, but it wasn't like Advanced Warfare where it's like you got this exosuit and you're flying around with the jetpacks and everything like that. And then Black Ops 3 kind of like took that and you like, you know, and made advancements to it. Yeah. And that's what people really didn't like because it was like, all right, you know, it's good for 1 year and, you know, but we kind of like the traditional Call of Duty where you're just like boots on the ground and you just fighting each other, like not flying around with all these, you know, unnecessary new technologies. But I just, like I said, like if Advanced Warfare was just like the only one where it was just like futuristic as it is, I thought it probably would have been like, you know, we probably would have never seen like Call of Duty World War II because, you know, that was like when everybody was like, oh, we want old stuff. Like we don't want to see, you know, future stuff again. And like that's probably like, you know, we would have seen like an Advanced Warfare too. But I honestly thought that Advanced Warfare was like like a really good story that, you know, I hope that they kind of like go back to one day.
Yeah.
But
I feel you. I like that too. You know, the thing, now that you were talking about it, I'm thinking about it a little bit more too. I think the reason why I liked Advanced Warfare, because I don't necessarily remember the story. I just enjoyed playing the game. I think anytime like and you guys may know this about me, maybe not, but like anytime I feel like fluidity of movement in games, like that shit hooks me, bro. Like Mirror's Edge like hooked me. Like I like the feeling of
you mentioned this
fluidity.
before.
Like
And
I really
Titanfall
like
too.
feeling mobile
Yeah.
in a game. Like Destiny, right? Like Destiny
Titanfall.
there's a high like emphasis on mobility, especially playing as a hunter. Like Chris can attest to that. So like even though he hates hunters now, traitor. Anyways, uh I love that though. Like anytime I can maneuver around a situation and then like get the upper hand and use gunplay, I like that a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Advanced Warfare really spoke to me in that regard. But then everything else just kind of got a little ridiculous, and it was like, all right, you guys are doing a little too much. A little too much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Chris, I mean, you know, I know your experience with some of these games isn't necessarily the same as ours, but have you ever really gotten a chance to dabble in any of the campaign stuff?
Nope, I've always heard good things about them, but like my experience with Call of Duty is way more limited than you guys's. So like I've always had plans to kind of go in and do the Modern Warfare one at some point, but I never got a chance to. Like I ain't even gonna hold you. Like I bought the full game because I needed to get my weapons for Warzone. So I that's the most I could say, and I would go on a multiplayer to level up my weapons for Warzone. Now I fell in love with it, the multiplayer side of the game, but the campaign was probably the last thing on my list of priorities to do when I bought Modern Warfare. It was definitely about those weapons.
I feel you.
So,
But
like,
you
I
haven't
almost
tried it
bought
yet?
Coldware for that. No, I've never have.
Well, I'd be
Never
curious.
have.
I'd be curious to know what you think. Maybe that's something we
Yeah.
might revisit if you ever decide to dabble in it. But yeah,
Yeah,
The Black
man.
Ops campaign, I think you would like more. That
now
line of things, yeah. This like the soap and price campaign from Modern Warfare. Well, from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, that campaign with soap, I think you would enjoy, but I don't think you would. Knowing you, I don't think you would enjoy it as much as Black Ops. But you should most definitely to even understand Warzone and potential characters that are going to be like shown in Warzone. You should play the Modern Warfare campaign. You really
even
should.
if you just dabble in it a little bit, because I think even Modern Warfare 2019, like the way they designed the story, like I don't think it's like the best Call of Duty story. Oh, hold on.
I'm here. I'm here.
I don't think it's the best Call of Duty story, but I do think it still kind of captures the essence of what makes an Infinity Ward based Call of Duty game, like the immersion factor and like the oh shit moments of like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting that, and this is happening to me in real time. Like it's interesting. I would definitely encourage you to try it at some point, even if you get like a couple couple missions in or whatever.
That's where the real like cinema stuff comes into play, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
woo, some of these characters. Oh my god, you fall in love with. You fall in love, and then you get upset. But like, you have to, man.
Yeah,
You
it's
have
a fun
to.
ride. It's a really fun roller coaster ride. It's one of those things you can just kind of like Orlando mentioned, just like veg out, experience it, and like just a fun Michael Bay action movie. You know, it's not like crazy and there's some depth in this story, like, but it's interesting. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
I recommend checking it out. But since we kind of dabble in the past of Call of Duty and all the different things that have been going on. I guess the key thing is what do you think the franchise should be going from here, right? Like we know what's going on with Warzone, tremendous hit. We see what's going on with Cold War. Obviously, we just had a new season drop for Warzone and Cold War, so they're expanding things in the zombie realm. They're expanding things in the BR realm. But I'm just curious where you guys think the franchise is maybe going. Orlando, I'll let you start off.
Yeah, I think tapping into like Call of Duty does a good job of tapping into what's currently popular, like zombies. That came out, like that was getting there, that was gaining traction. They capitalized. BRs, they didn't capitalize as much on Blackout, which I love Blackout and I miss Blackout. But like that was the first BR, Call of Duty BR, and I think they did a decent job with it. Actually, my biggest memory with playing Blackout is actually Denzel. I joined a party one time with you, and you're like, dude, like, sorry, hold up. Sorry, you were like, dude, come up for air. Stop playing this game. Word for word, that's what you said. Come up for air. And I'm like, dude, like I really got so like into this BR. Like it's Call of Duty, which I love, and it's BR, which PUBG was my first BR, and you introduced that to me too. Where I'm like, man, like I got sucked into this. But like again, so they do a good job of like grabbing onto what's popular and going. I think the next step, right? Because you can't just put all your cards in one basket, right? You can't just hold on to Warzone. You can't just hold on to zombies. Some could say VR is the next step. I think it would do them an injustice to dive into VR right now because they're limited as to what they can do, unless they like really like make it super immersive in a way where it's so fluid. Like Call of Duty, for the most part, is one of the most fluid multiplayer games. Like
Hands
if
down.
they can. Yeah, if they can throw that into the VR world, by all means, hit that head on first right now. All these companies are diving into VR and AR, right? That is, I would say that could be the potential next step. Not right now. Not right now. Keep riding this VR wave. And multiplayer is huge. And everyone at home, everyone playing, everyone competing. Like the Call of Duty League is huge. Like keep riding on with that. But the next like big step away from where they are now, I would say, is VR a couple of years down the road.
I like that. Yeah, VR. I think the VR tech would have to like get up there a little bit, but
because it's not going to be smooth. You know, it's not going to be the Call of Duty name. You're gonna be playing like Onward, and you're like, oh, like.
Yeah,
I'm holding this gun, but I'm uncomfortable.
Although
even 1-2 seconds of being uncomfortable, you're not going to want to play this every night for the next couple months.
Have you seen the Medal of Honor game that they're dropping on
I have.
Oculus? I mean, that looks pretty smooth. I feel like, and I'm just a precursor, or I guess something to like start off with. Is like I'm a huge VR fan. Like I have my Quest. I enjoy it a lot, but I feel like playing Call of Duty, I would throw up. Like after one
adapt
game.
to it.
Ooh, man, that's like some heavy adaptation, bro. I would
think about all the adaptation we've already done with these games. Maybe not to that extent, not physically, but like over the years, we've all been gaming for years.
Yeah,
4 years, and we've been good at the games that we've played, and like really, the games we dive into. Like, I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. You would dive into VR. You already have experience with VR, and like. Yeah, you'd be all right.
I think you would throw up, bro. I'm saying, I think it's gonna be intense. Like, I'm just imagining.
I would throw up for the mere sake of me. I'm playing it so hardcore for hours. And my equilibrium's like, bro, where are you? Are you in space or are you in your basement? Like, chill.
But like, I'm thinking of it like, all right, so like, strap my Oculus Quest to my head, like 90 hertz monitor, basically on the screen. Freaking like the visceral like craziness of Call of Duty that's happening, I would throw up, bro. I don't know. That would be so intense. But I would still let me put it this way. I think I would throw up, but I still want that experience. Like I still would like to try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd still be curious to see where it goes. But yeah, VR. That's an interesting take. I would love to see that. But yeah, Chris, where do you think this franchise can go?
Where it can go, I think the BR thing is it's been huge for them the last year or so, and I think there's still a lot more that they can do within that in terms of like the type of game modes they give us, in terms of the type of maps that they give us, and the scaling in the maps and all that kind of good stuff. One thing I would love to see them really do with the franchise, and I'm newer to it, so I shouldn't probably be the best representative for this, but I hear people talk about it all the time. It's very clear that they're putting most of their emphasis on the battle royale aspect of the game and not so much on multiplayer anymore. And I've heard it from many people. So there's a lot of people who don't like battle royale, right? They just don't want to touch it. That's not their thing. And they've been playing COD for years in the multiplayer lobbies, and that's what they like to do. There's people out there who like to get on. They don't even touch domination or anything. I just want to play free-for-all for a few hours and knock some heads off. And when I look at the patch notes that come out every time they drop anything, there's a couple things in there for multiplayer generally, but it's a list and a half for Warzone every single time. Warzone is the one thing that they give all their eyes to. And again, I can't really say from like a standpoint of, oh man, back in the day, because I don't know back in the day. But I can confidently say I've heard it from way more than enough people to say that this is definitely a thing I think that bothers a lot of folks. There's a lot of YouTubers, actually. There's a couple that I watched that they built their channels off of multiplayer gameplay, not BR or anything like that. And they're frustrated because it's like, well, I want to play this game. I really like this game, but you guys give us nothing anymore. It's almost kind of like how the people complain about PvP with Destiny a little bit, where like they're just not refreshing things fast enough, and they're just not, going after outliers and stuff like that fast enough. They're getting better with it, but it's a slog in order for something to happen. And so for example, I know in Modern Warfare 19, people complained about like stupid shit like footsteps and stuff like that for the entire year that Modern Warfare was the main game. And every time a patch note list came out, people were expecting, did they even tweak the sound adjustment on those or anything like that? Can they please do something about this? And it just felt like they didn't even acknowledge the fact that people were talking about it for mad long. So it's just like things like that, I think that they can get a lot better at. I think there's enough space here because multiplayer is still fire. I don't think they should just not give it any love. And I get why they're giving love to Warzone because it's their cash cow right now. Warzone sells their skins. It sells the blueprints. You want to go buy the next operator so you can bring them motherfucker into Warzone, right? That's what it is. It's not about multiplayer anymore. So I don't know. I just wish there was a way for them to kind of like shine that light back onto that a little bit, and for it to not feel so. It feels like it's a race. Like they have two things that they're really trying to like handle, and BR is, and now it's almost like, well, we still have multiplayer, but if we have any extra assets, throw them in Warzone. But let's not ever give the multiplayer side of the things something to grip onto. And there's a lot of people out there who are veteran players who feel like they're getting like shafted right now because it's like, I don't want to play Wars. I don't want to play that. Like, that's not what I came into this liking. It's not for me. Because there's people out there who will say, I don't want to sit around and open up boxes for like 15 minutes before the action kicks in the Warzone matches. That's not what I like. I like going around and shooting people, nonstop action. It's just a different vibe, And I can sympathize with that, So I kind of wish that they would kind of fix that a little bit. It's funny because it kind of digs into a different topic that I don't know if we have time to talk about here, but the whole skill-based matchmaking thing that like the whole community is always in uproar about constantly. And that's actually a thing that touches Warzone too. They complain about it in both Warzone and multiplayer. I don't know how they fix that. I don't know how they tweak that because it's. I feel like half the YouTube videos about Call of Duty, be it Cold War or anything else, is about skill-based matchmaking.
Just a refresher on it though. What exactly is the issue with skill-based matchmaking?
So Call of Duty has a very, very, very crazy algorithm in place for when you're playing, to the point where like they know when you rage quit. They know when you are probably more prone to stay on and play another couple more games. They know which maps you don't like. They know all that bullshit. They record all the data and they throw an algorithm at you so that way you can't just go into lobbies and get in there with people who are beneath your skill level. They're going to most times try to place you into these lobbies with people who are at least at your skill level or a lot of times better than you are. And people complain that they can't just sit down some nights and just have a casual COD session. Every game, for some people, they say comes off like a tournament game and they have to sweat every single match and they don't want to do that and blah, blah, blah. And then you got the high-level players who are like, well, I get it. I'm a good player, but that doesn't mean that I want to like play balls to the wall every time I play COD. But the way how the algorithm is set up, I can't get into a lobby that doesn't require me to play like I'm about to win $10,000 at the end of the day type of thing. How do we get around that? And for me personally, it's weird because I don't know how to really quantify how much that's affecting things in that because they're not going to give us those numbers. Like Activision's never going to do that.
Plus,
but it's a thing, man. It's a thing.
Plus, I'm sure this. I would gather to. I just feel like it's probably a very vocal minority complaining about this
I agree
Yeah.
with you.
because, yeah, I don't know. That's just interesting.
So imagine no skill-based matchmaking, right? And then the potential of getting thrown into a game where you want to sit down, you want to just shoot people and kill, or just progress a weapon. Cool, chill. You see someone running into a wall, light them up. Cool, you're getting kills for the guns. Now you can get the polar opposite of that, where
Exactly.
you have people who
Are
this isn't the
sweaty.
terminology I want to use, but the terminology Chris has used earlier, clapping cheeks, and you can't get anything done. And if it's a moment where you just want to numb out and play, you can't. You
Yeah.
can't. So turning skill-based matchmaking on and off, cool, that'd be a great option. I think there's a lot of work that would go into that, but I don't think
It just seems like a weird complaint
Well,
because
play this game
I'm
to
not
just
asking
play,
for
or
it to
you
be
play this
turned
game
off,
to
by
get
the way.
better.
I'm just being clear on that.
No, I
I'm
get
just
you. Oh, yeah,
clear
because,
on
like-
what I heard, yeah.
Because if I had a gripe with skill-based matchmaking and my goal was to just play a game, to just play in whatever and I'm out, like that's not going to work out. Eventually it's going to get worse. Like I'm just going to start joining games. I'm just going to get clapped every time. With skill-based, at least you have a level median where
Right.
you can kill, like you can play a game and not. I'd rather play a game and have to focus a little more than play a game and always get clapped.
right.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
And,
feel- yeah,
be level.
I feel like that's the exact alternative, right? Is like if you turn off skill-based matchmaking, then you just start getting destroyed by all the other sweats. Like it's just that's a weird and interesting complaint because the matchmaking is put in place for this exact reason, right? Yeah, like turning off matchmaking and then it's like the old days on PC where everyone's just a sweat and then you're just getting destroyed and then it's not fun. So that's interesting.
There are way more
because-
people who are going to, if they had the option to hop in a game where skill-based matchmaking wasn't a thing and destroy people, then there are people who are just saying, I just want a casual gameplay.
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's-
man. I think you guys are discrediting how loud that community is, man. Because like,
Regardless
I see it-
regardless of how loud the community is, though, right? Like the alternative is much
Look at the
worse.
facts. Yeah, exactly.
well, also let me continue a little bit to give you more context with this. I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing a lot of people ask for, they're not asking for skill-based matchmaking to be taken out of the game completely, because that's just kind of ridiculous. I think what people are asking for people to do is more or less, again, what Bungie did, because Bungie used to have skill-based matchmaking in all their playlists, and they took it out of their pub playlists and kept it in their competitive ones. So trials, and if we go into comp or some shit like that, that's skill-based. But if you go into control, it's just connected to whoever, and it is what it is, right?
I'm sorry, sir. Holy I don't want to cut you off, but Trials is not skill based, bro.
Dog.
It's
When you get to
either
the
or
end
it's
of that
not.
card, it is completely a skill-based thing. It has to be. There's no way it's not. Because like you're never gonna go against a non-sweat team towards the 6th or 7th win. That's never gonna happen.
Bro, if it's skill based, why are we getting clapped all the time?
Well, because see, that's part of the. Sorry, we're going on a tangent, people. But the reason why we get clapped is because of the way how the card structure is, and because
So it's
people-
card based matchmaking.
for the first few matches, I would say like that, yeah. But because of the way the reward structure was, where before you had to like kind of refresh your shit so many times to get tokens, and people were out here doing shit like jumping off the bridge or whatever to kind of like just get their weapon, that kind of put a wrench in things or whatever. But I promise you, if you're going for flawless and you're on the last 2 wins of your card, yeah, you ain't going against no. It's gonna be a crazy time. So I don't know. Again, I don't really have really much of a say in it. It's just one of those things to me that I see it a lot, and I know that they talk about it. And like, dude, I see some dudes sometimes, man, they'll be playing and they'll just rage quit and to stop playing and to cut their whole stream off because they're mad at the skill-based matchmaking just fucking them up all night or whatever.
I just
And
don't get
I'm
how
just
it can really mess you up more than not having it. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand that. Like I don't want to keep going with this, but like you're going into a lobby with people who are somewhat the same skill level or like close enough where you can still progress and have a good time. Like like Denzel said, the alternative to that I don't see as appealing. And if all you want is just to sit there and be able to clap people, that's the only reason I can see someone being upset. Like maybe you're playing the wrong game.
That's
How
weird.
I look at it honestly is like, you know, especially like Chris mentioned, if like these streamers complaining about like the skill-based matchmaking and that like, oh, they want to like chill out and just not have to sweat. It's like, you're streaming and trying to give content for the people watching, and if you just want to watch, like if you're just gonna like sit out here and be like, oh, I want like basically put an easy lobby so I can just clap these people without even have to try, like. Then it's like, are you even really like a good gamer? Or
Why
you
am I
just-
watching you?
Yeah, like
You guys heard
You know-
about the reverse boost and shit, right?
No.
no.
Oh, all right. Go ahead, Manny. I'm gonna talk to you about that after, and then we can move on.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm just
Crazy.
saying, it's like, if you want to be like this good COD player, you just try to push yourself to be better, like, and especially if you're gonna put yourself in front of an audience and stream, then like, I better expect you to like be sweating all the time because that's the content I'm expecting when I watch you. It's not like I'm watching you just like, unless it's like they have like a good personality, then yeah, like they're a cool person, but like, I could understand why you might say like you want to have relax a little bit, but like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you do that off stream, but like,
Yeah.
you don't just be doing that on stream. Be like, yo, I just want an easy game. These people are sweating.
Right. I feel like I'm torn though because I can understand the idea that all right, the way Bungie doing, although I don't know, this is definitely something we got to talk about, but I don't think Trials is skill based at all. I don't think that matches our skill levels at all because we always go up in there with significantly overpowered teams. Like I don't think that's doing that at all. But I do remember that there was a change that happened with Destiny as far as how matchmaking was set up in regular modes. So I can understand if people want to do something parallel to that for Call of Duty, but I don't know. I just feel like the solution might be to just tune the algorithm for certain things, or just have like a ranked and an unranked playlist like other games do. I mean,
that's more or less what they want. That's kind of what they're crying about. They just want a spot to compete and a spot to just relax. That's all they're.
Yeah, and I can get that. I guess if the complaint is just make an unranked, a ranked and an unranked, sure, fine, that's okay. But like the concept of skill based matchmaking versus like turning it off, which it sounds like, Chris, what you're saying is that's not what they're asking for. So I totally understand that. It's interesting. Yeah, I think that Call of Duty probably should implement something where there is a ranked and an unranked. It might help for accessibility standpoint, but I don't know what that looks like to manage. And based off of what we were talking about around where their focus is, it might not be something that they care about. But I will say this though.
Oh, they don't.
Well, I will say this though, right? Because I think, and I guess this will go into what I think is the future of Call of Duty. So sorry, Manny, I may skip you a little bit on this one, but because we were gonna go in order. But either way, what I see the future of Call of Duty being obviously is Warzone and like these standalone experiences of like Warzone is a service that will continue to live on through the life cycle of different Call of Duty games, right? So it makes sense that when patch notes come out, there's a significant amount of patch notes for Warzone compared to a Modern Warfare, which technically is already an outdated game, realistically, right? Like the structure that Call of Duty's always gone through is, obviously there's a new game every year. Warzone is different and it breaks the model and it changes things a lot because, obviously it's independent of whatever year of Call of Duty has been released. So I don't know what things look like with Blackout right now. Obviously they just got a whole new season. I don't know what their patch notes look like, but I can tell you that the same team that's working on Warzone is not the same team that's working on Cold War. So as far as like focus and whatnot, I mean, that sounds like it's more based on the studio. So as far as, people saying like, oh, well, like people are more focused on Warzone than they are Black Ops multiplayer. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's a matter of one person's focused on one thing and one person's focused on another when it's completely different teams working on these games. So I don't know. I'm curious to understand what that whole thing is about. I can maybe understand that with Modern Warfare because I think that the Infinity Ward team did have a lot to do with what was going on with Warzone. It's obviously using that engine, so on and so forth. But I think now like there's a completely different. I think it's Sledgehammer, if I'm not mistaken.
For Black Ops, it's Treyarch.
No, for Warzone. For Warzone.
Oh, for Warzone. I'm sorry.
There's a separate team that's really just solely focused on Warzone, and it's not Infinity Ward or Treyarch anymore. So yeah, Treyarch is the one who's focused on Cold War. So and I don't know if that's what you were referencing in particular, but if anybody's complaining about, them not focusing on Warzone, Cold War, like upgrades or patch notes or any of that type of stuff, that just seems weird because it has nothing to do with Warzone. Like, Warzone's the moneymaker, but like there's a whole completely different studio focusing on that stuff. But to kind of get a little bit more into what I deem the future of Call of Duty and where things go, like I can see more of these standalone experiences. I personally think that they should be ripping zombies out of any one of these installments and just have it be its own thing as well.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this new season that just came out is the Outbreak mode. I think it's really cool. Lane and I were playing it the other day. It's just different. It gives a different feel for zombies. It's like it's a lot
got a small
more
open world feel.
Yeah, small open world field, very objective based. Like it's not exactly like a story mode per se or a campaign per se. Like there's definitely a lot more going on, and it's a little bit more free flowing in that regard. But I think more modes like that ripped out of a Call of Duty game and put into like a free to play model or whatnot. I think that's the future of Call of Duty. And then maybe you create these like campaign experiences as its own game, its own $30 game. Like, okay, here's Black Ops Cold War campaign, $30. Boom. All right, whatever. And then, there's a battle royale free to play, there's a zombies free to play, and then like an arena shooter free to play. And like that's their core element. And then, you rip that out of the game. That's a way for them to continuously monetize on the game yearly. And then they can still charge you $30 for whatever like big marquee campaign story that they want to tell. I think that's the best route for them. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I know we mentioned a lot because like it sucks that we have to spend like, basically $60, $70 now just to play zombies for, like a game that, if we could just cut it in half, like just, give us a piece of the pie, you know what I'm saying?
Seriously. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely do agree with that part too. Hopefully one day, that can be a possible thing where they even like make it as like a free to play service where it's just like, you have these seasons like how Warzone is and everything like that. You got your characters and you have these special events as well. Keep updating it so that make the game alive, refreshed. But for me, I feel like, Battle Royale is going to be out for a while. And, we've seen it for the past couple of years. Apex came out, PUBG, the one that started it, essentially. I feel like, what I like about what Warzone is just, they're trying to involve it with, like, the other games. And I feel like if they keep on involving it around the other games and hopefully even updating the map in the future, we still don't know anything about that. We were expecting... a new map for the Cold War game, but still haven't heard anything. I mean, they did get the mini Royale map, so technically we got something, but like
Go ahead. I love Rebirth, but
but like I said, like I feel like they're just gonna keep on banging on this until like there's that like new thing. Like nowadays, when you look at Call of Duty on Twitch, 9 times out of 10 they're all playing Warzone. Even though if like Warzone has its own different section, you see like people will say like Modern Warfare, and you see that they're playing Warzone. They're not playing the multiplayer anymore because it's like Battle Royale is just that big thing. Everybody just wants to see like like a good streamer out here clapping cheeks in the lobby, as Chris's term. And like
we should end this now. I don't want to keep
it's also not
End
like
that
behind a
phrase now.
paywall though. That's the other thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the. And like, thanks for reminding me. I was gonna actually mention it too. It's like the thing about Blackout. Blackout was a good mode in Black Ops 4, but like the thing is like you had to pay $60 just to play it. And what Infinity War did with Warzone, or they just dropped Warzone on a good time. It's like that's when we're all being quarantined. It was like, all right, it's free to play. Everybody can just dive in and play.
Are you saying you said you had to pay separate from Black Ops in itself, or like if you were someone that only wanted to play Blackout, you would still have to buy the whole game for $60? Is that what you're saying? Okay,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like you would have to buy the whole Call of Duty experience just to play Blackout, which is like, some people just don't want, because like if I could play Apex Legends, Fortnite for free, PUBG you have to pay, but like, saying why would I want to pay for this when I can play these other battle royale games for free, which is like Apex is still like booming as it is. So like that's why Blackout probably didn't really succeed. I think Warzone is just gonna be like, I think like Denzel said, like Sledgehammer is taking care of the game. I think, and they're just gonna keep on going, milking it out until like they find out that big new game mode that just happens.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there's a key component to the fact that not only just Blackout, but like any one of these other modes like zombies and all that stuff, like those things are behind a paywall, and in essence, that's why they're not necessarily as popular on Twitch or any of these other platforms. Like, the fact that it's free to play is the biggest reason why it's this big. It's just that simple, to me at least. Like, obviously it's good, but having it be a free game that anybody can try at some level.
That was a game changer.
Yeah.
No pun intended. That was a game changer. A lot of, it was like, and you know what it felt like? Sorry to cut you off, Denzel, but if it felt like when you open up your Xbox on Christmas, right? Or like you go to turn on your Xbox, on Christmas, you go to play a game, and now you have all of these new players playing playing Call of Duty who just got an Xbox on Christmas, and they have no skill, and they're just playing. That's what it felt like when they came out with Warzone for free.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
And that's I feel like skill based was hurt so hard, but because of the things like that. But it was a big deal, and it was a game changer, and it still is a game changer. People still talk about how it's free, and they put so much effort into that game. They can't progress certain guns as fast as others if they don't buy Black Ops, if they don't buy Modern Warfare, but it's amazing that they did that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm living proof. But I would have never even touched the game if they didn't do that. So
you would have. We would have convinced you.
I don't know, man.
I think people have been trying to convince it this whole time.
Yeah,
bro.
I don't know, man.
If you love Warzone just as much as you do now, or if you like it just as much as you do now, just by watching it before paying for it, you would have been like, "Dang, I should probably get involved with that."
I don't know, man.
I think it would have taken him a lot longer.
I think so too.
For sure.
A lot of trauma. It's a lot of trauma, man.
I was gonna say, hopefully, Call of Duty would take like the routes of like Destiny, for example, where like they turn into like a free to play, but like if you want to like, play these new story mode or like have these new stories you want to play, you just play that, for the expansion.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly the way they should go. It makes the most sense.
That definitely would like benefit like one, like having all these people play, the multiplayer, which Chris said was like nobody was even like caring about because like Warzone came out. The thing is, if you have like something like multiplayer that's free, then you definitely have like more of an audience coming in the game, even though Call of Duty is like a already huge franchise as is.
Okay. Yeah. Word. All right. Well, in the interest of time, we'll jump over to our final kind of topic here. In closing, since we talked a lot about Call of Duty and, where we all started, where we think the franchise is going to go, we'll end on a fun note here. So I just want to hear each of you guys kind of like favorite Call of Duty memory, like that, one of those moments where it was just like, holy shit, like this is one of those things that can kind of only happen in Call of Duty. So yeah, Orlando, I'll let you start off.
Man, listen, I have so many memories. I made one just yesterday. In any case, my favorite Call of Duty memory was Modern Warfare 3, my first nuke.
Ooh.
Okay, my first nuke. I was playing, what map was I playing? I wrote it down. Resistance.
Okay.
Right. I was playing Resistance. First nuke on Modern Warfare. I was using the MP5. And it was a casual, it hit me. I didn't even focus on it. I'm playing casually, sitting behind the bus, boom, 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 kills a couple people. Okay, cool. I killed 6 people, whatever. Okay, I got 10 people. Like, once you hit that 10-person mark, you're like, all right, I'm sweaty right now. Like, I'm going. Got 12, 15, kept going. And all of a sudden, I didn't even notice how, it got to the point where I knew I was at the 15 mark. I don't remember when I got close enough for the nuke. I just kept killing people with the MP5, kept picking up ammo, and sitting behind that bus. I see the nuke and the little thing moving. I'm like, I have it. This is my first nuke. I better hurry up because this round's almost over. But this is my first nuke. I call it in. I drop it. I obliterate everyone. And that was my favorite Call of Duty memory that really stands out. My very first nuke. in Modern Warfare
Nice.
3. Yeah.
Okay, impressive. Got the Moab. All right, bet. All right, Chris, what about you, man? What's your favorite Call of Duty moment?
Shit. My favorite Call of Duty moment. It's not even anything crazy. It was just a part. I was playing a solo game months ago in Warzone, and it just made me laugh because it was me, and there was a guy in the truck. He was in a Bertha, and tried to run my shit over, right? So I had a proxy mine, and I threw it on the ground, and he charged straight at me in the Bertha. And I like kind of try to bait him into the proxy. So then like he came at me and I juked to the right. He missed, ran straight over my proxy mine. And he didn't kill me, but I'm looking at him like, why the fuck didn't it blow up? What the hell is this, right? So then he zips back around because he's determined to run me over. And I'm like, all right, let's do this again. So my dumb ass is standing there like lined up with the proxy mine. I'm clearly baiting you, man. Like I'm clearly baiting. His dumb ass. And then it finally did blow up. And I was like, yeah, dog. Nice. And then like it's the funniest thing ever. It was that. And then there was a guy who downed me from a roof. And it was one of those classic moments of when he came off the roof and tried to bag me while I was resin. And then he let me get the res off too much. And he got killed. Oh, it was amazing. That felt great. He bagged me like 9 times. He was just going for it, man. And I was...
Yo, my man did
Oh, that's hilarious.
I know he was big tight because you should have let me do that, man. He bagged me like 9 times.
Hey, he should have been paying attention, man. He should have been paying attention. He paid for it though. All right, word. All right, thank you for that. So Manny, what about you, man? What's your favorite moment?
Yeah, I know you guys had your multiplayer moments, but I'm gonna have to go with the campaign when the finale of the first Modern Warfare trilogy when in the last mission you finally kill Makarov. I honestly that hit. What Orlando? What?
Oh, I'm in heaven with you right now.
That, bro, when you pull up and you're out here with the Juggernaut suits and you just like you're just blowing like the place up, just do, and like, oh man, just like the whole scene, like when like he wraps around the wire on Makarov's head and like the glass roof breaks and this man's just hanging and then Price is just like, all right, I killed this mofo. Let me light up this cigar real quick and just smoke. Like that was like the most badass moment ever. Like,
word. Okay.
Nice.
I got a couple moments, so it's tough to like pick one in particular, but I'll kind of skim through a couple different things here. So I would say overall, the thing that I enjoy the most playing Call of Duty is easily zombies. Like and I can't pinpoint a particular time because there've been so many moments where like, and Orlando's been there, like we spent so much time running different Easter eggs in the game, like just freaking running around, like
babysitting zombies,
running circles, like make sure you keep
round
crawling,
43,
keep crawling. Like a lot of fun and frustration in those moments where like somebody accidentally shoots a crawler when you're trying to like go run a certain part of the mission. Oh man, many times we've been screaming at each other. Like a lot of fun though, a lot of bonding moments in those times. But another moment that really sticks out to me, and I don't know if this is something that any of you guys have done because I know I haven't done it with you guys, but back in the original Modern Warfare, so Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, like we used to play a lot of custom games, like a couple groups of my friends, and we would actually play this like stupid game called Mike Myers, where like one person. Okay, so you guys know what it is. Yeah, so basically like there would be one person who would be Mike Myers, and everybody would have to hide, and like Mike Myers had to go find you, and like the only way he could kill you is with
it's a party
knife.
game. It was great.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great party game. Like the only way you can kill you is with a actual knife or a throwing knife, bro. The amount of nonsense that we used to do, bro, just like juking people and shaking people out. Like, especially the people who were really bad with throwing knives, it was the most fun. Like, oh, man. Yeah, I wish like they would bring that as like an actual mode because that was so much fun. But yeah, that's probably one of my fondest Call of
We
Duty
need to do
memories.
that soon now. Now that you bring that up,
Hey man,
we need to play Michael Myers. So I'm Modern Warfare.
that's a
We
streaming
can.
night opportunity right there. We got to
Yeah,
get some
yeah,
people
yeah.
together.
Hey,
Definitely.
Yes,
hey.
sir. Okay, yeah.
Get it.
Everybody keep an eye out for that. We see if we can get that going. But yeah, before we head out, the one thing I'll say, guys, to the viewers and the listeners, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you let us know what your favorite Call of Duty moment is down in the comments below. Please, please, please. Make sure to like and subscribe. And then, before we go, like we customarily do, Orlando, where can the people find you again, Mer?
Listen, you can find me in my basement first and foremost. All right, it ain't my mom's basement, but it's a basement. No, you can find me at OMACSAUCE.com. Check out my my stuff there. It's awesome. Official_OMACSAUCE on Instagram, Twitch.tv/OMACSAUCE, and OMACSAUCE on Facebook Gaming.
Awesome,
Hey.
awesome.
Nice.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for that. So
You're
Chris,
welcome. Anytime.
where can people find you, man?
Oh boy, as always on everything. MAY25THXX on everything. You got to straight jacket it out, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, also Gmail, pen pal me. All right.
Pen pal.
Still looking for that pen pal.
Find a person in like Singapore.
Also, don't forget 20 cents a day helps Chris get an Xbox Series X.
Forgot about that.
I gotta do my
I
sad
got
face.
you, homeboy. I got you.
There you go.
Oh
In
man.
the arms of an angel.
The goal is to make sure that Chris gets an Xbox Series X by May 25th. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh,
That is
we're
the
making
goal.
that happen.
That
We're
is
making
the
that
goal.
happen.
All right.
Hey,
Manny, where can we find you, man?
You can find me anywhere, twitch.tv/GoopMasterFlex. Instagram and Twitter are the same, GoopMasterFlex_TTV. Hit me up. Let your boy know if you guys want to argue. We can get the stress.
All right. Well, for me, I'm Black Ice 8 pretty much everywhere on Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Twitter, Twitch. Check me out, Black Ice 8. And then on Instagram, it's Black Ice 8_gaming. And also make sure you check out the podcast on, or at least our Instagram, XPack Pod. Manny's doing a great job of keeping content going up there. So make sure to hit us up and check us out. Also we might need to outsource some people for this this Mike Myers match. So hit us up. Let us know if you guys want to jump in on a stream like that. Get the viewers involved. I think that'd be pretty fun. So yeah, as always, thank you guys for checking out this bonus episode. We'll check you guys out next week. Peace.
Deuces.
Peace.